Let's stay in the AFC East here. Buffalo Bills 30, Miami Dolphins 27. Did the Bills clinch the AFC East yet? They moved to 7-2.
They do.
Dolphins 2-6. Man, it was a good game. It was a fun game. The Dolphins coming in with a 2-5 record shouldn't diminish what they're capable of. Maybe I overlooked that a little bit when predicting the game, but they were a good team last year.
Yeah.
That just struggled to get over the hump against better teams, good teams, and now
it might be exactly the same now.
It might be exactly the same, but they just dug too deep of a hole after Tua's injury. So Buffalo moves to 7-2. Dolphins fall to 2-6. Buffalo gets the game-winning 61-yard field goal from Tyler Bass.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame for Miami that their season basically just got dealt too large a handicap to start because of the Tua concussion thing. You have to park your starting quarterback for a month, and the backups are simply not capable of functioning, which is its own indictment, I think, of both talent acquisition and McDaniel as a head coach, that they were completely unable to get anything with those guys. But Tua, as the starting quarterback, transforms everything, and Miami is a good team when he's there. I mean, that offense function, that did as good a job against Buffalo's defense as really anybody this season and for a while. It's just that even with that, they're still not necessarily any better than a team like Buffalo, who's a legit contender, and they end up coming off on the wrong side of it, and that's now 2 games consecutively where that's been true. The offense clicks, it's back, it's exactly the same as it was before Tua got hurt. Still might not be enough to win those games, and so you're just too far behind now.
Well, then you're almost looking at like defensive regression for Miami, because I was so impressed by their offense, really impressed. Tua, I sent you one of the throws that he's throwing the ball like 2 zones away,
which is like what he's known for. I mean, that's the sort of the poster child Tua play, right? Is hey, look at this spot that he's throwing to like a minute and a half before his wide receiver ends up in that spot, like the Drake May play we talked about, right? Where he's like throwing to a spot and then, oh, look, Ramondre Stevenson just pops up there at the last second. I mean, he's doing that all the time, except instead of a lofted like prayer, it's the ball's just going to that spot and then Tyreek Hill is about to zoom into the space.
It's really impressive. And look, Buffalo had done a really nice job against Tua. He had relative to his other grades or production, however way you want to break it down, against Buffalo, Tua had struggled. Yeah. I thought he was really good in this game. Scramble drill touchdown to Jalen Waddle. We mentioned a few minutes ago Waddle's ridiculous stat line where he ends up with, was it officially two catches for -4 yards? I appreciate, last week we're trying to get something going here. Box scoreigami. Had a bunch of people tagging me in box scoreigami, including this Jalen Waddle one, because he ends up with the -25 or whatever it was on that last play on the pitchy woo woo, as you call it.
Which, by the way, that's not my thing, right? Like people were complaining.
Who started that?
Chris Berman, I think.
Did he?
I think that was a Berman thing. Anyway, it's not me. It was a Berman. It might have been Trey Wingo. Somebody like that, like luminary of
some ESPN talking head.
Luminary of like network television came up with that. And it's funny, so I use it. But like I didn't invent that, that's not my thing. I'm just stealing it.
Oh yeah, I wasn't implying that.
No, but other people have. Like I've used that before, and people are like, look at this idiot phrase you're using, pitchy. Like I didn't.
It's because you're Irish.
Thing.
It's because you're from Ireland.
It probably.
And you must think it's rugby.
It's racism. That's what it is.
It is the season. Look.
Scott Van Pelt, the chat says.
Good for Scott.
Scottish Bisque. What a name.
Miami ran the ball pretty well. Devin Achan's been really good over the last few weeks. Remember, they couldn't run the ball at all.
Yeah,
for like early in the year.
As soon as Tua's back.
Yeah,
Devin Achan is a thing again.
Yeah, impressed with Miami and their offense. Defensively, not impressed. It ended up being a Jordan Poyer hit to the head, a 15-yard penalty.
Safeties yesterday, and I use the term safeties as just an umbrella term because I think at least 2 of them were actually cornerbacks technically. But safeties were playing yesterday like they had no idea what year it was. There were at least 3 that I saw.
It might be because I posted because of the tweet I put out there a few weeks ago. They wanted to go back in time. I had the
post like Brian Dawkins highlights.
No, it was 2003 Patriots Colts AFC. I think it was the AFC Championship. Yeah. Eugene Wilson decapitated Reggie Wayne, who, by the way, popped right back up. Was like
it was nothing. Yeah.
The ball kind of slips through Wayne's hands. Eugene Wilson hits him hard, his head hits the ground really hard. He just popped right back.
Just boom, nothing.
Oh,
there were at least 3 that I saw yesterday, like plays that belonged in that era, right? Plays from at least 10 plus years ago, where the safety / corner is coming across to a wide receiver who you no longer can make that hit. You just can't, and they just delivered it like it was 15 years ago. And on every occasion, it's like flag comes out. And one occasion, apparently, they picked it back up, but still, that was one of them where Poyer comes across, just decks the dude, and it's like, you haven't been able to make that hit for a while now, at least not at that height.
Yeah, so that was one of the big plays that helped set up the Bill. I mean, it wasn't even a great game-winning drive.
Right.
They set up a 61-yard field goal. Josh Allen missed his final throw that would have put me over the top for my prize picks lineup. So we had a miss there. But the Bills get the game-winning field goal. The other play is, like, if you're a Dolphins fan hoping to save your season, a 63-yard touchdown to Ray Davis, essentially a busted coverage.
Really nice play from Davis.
Yeah, I mean, he's really good. I mean, he's a really good player. And look, when you look at how Buffalo's been built over these last couple of years, James Cook, like the year that they added James Cook and Khalil Shakir, specifically trying to be a little bit more dynamic, a little bit less reliant on vertical receivers or a vertical passing tree, creating after the catch. They've done a nice job there. You add Ray Davis to the mix.
And that play in particular is like tailor-made for Ray Davis. Like, that guy in space is phenomenally good.
Yeah.
Like, just has instincts to run to the space. And that they busted the coverage on him slightly. He gets the ball. There's 2 guys converging on him. So he heads exactly to the space between the 2 of them. And they end up clattering into each other. Neither one of them can make the tackle, and he ends up scoring the touchdown. Like, the perfect Ray Davis play.
So on that play, you've got the 63-yard touchdown, 63-yard free touchdown for Josh Allen, and he also has this is the fun part about like the QB's role in his stats. You have a 63-yard touchdown to Ray Davis, where it's almost all Ray Davis. You have a 2-yard touchdown to Quentin Morris, where Josh Allen is unbelievable, scrambling around and just flips it out. It looks, I mean, it almost would have been called a fumble if they were reviewing this. Yeah. You know what I mean? But he flicks it out right to Quentin Morris with an incredible 2-yard touchdown. The QB's role in his production is fun sometimes.
Well, there's that.
And, of course, and then the interception part.
There's that, and there's the fact that he now has 2 interceptions on the season. And
that's where you thought I was
And
going.
neither one of them is his fault.
Yeah.
The first one was that play where Amari Cooper like fell over at his break, and the corner is there waiting for the slant instead of the receiver. And then there's this one where he puts the ball right on Keon Coleman, who just basically drops it into Jalen Ramsey's hands. And what should have been, I actually don't think he'd have gotten in. I think they were saying, it could have been a touchdown. I think he would have been tackled short. But either way, it should have been a catch and ends up being an interception. It's funny. So you've got, like, someone at some point is going to seriously make the argument that Allen, the only interceptions that Josh Allen has thrown have not been his fault. He's therefore been perfect. Like, he's also got like a million turnover-worthy plays that haven't been.
I'm sure it's on the internet right now. Josh Allen, his 2 interceptions shouldn't even be.
Right.
They shouldn't even be. Anyway, look, he didn't have to do a ton, but when he had to make that special play in the red zone, make a couple of those, he did it. 17 touchdowns, 2 picks. They'll look at the touchdown-interception ratio and say it's a pretty good season. Overall, it has been for Allen. The tweet that I put out there last night, just to put some context around this, they used to be an air yard heavy offense. And so since 2021, I mean, this goes back further. I just picked the last few years. 21 and 22, less than 40% of Josh Allen's yards came after the catch. Last year it bumped up to 46%. This year it's almost 60%. He's at 59.3% of his yards coming after the catch, which is often used in Twitter circles. When you're making Twitter arguments, Sam, you call guys a yak merchant. Oh, this guy, all his stats are coming after the catch. He's not that good. He's a yak merchant. But Bills fans have taken a different tact. When I tweet this stuff out, when people put this stuff out there, they're crying tears of joy. They're thankful that the offense is now taking a little bit of pressure off of Josh Allen, that they do have this underneath pass game that isn't just catch and, get tackled. It's catch and create, and puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Bills fans are thrilled with what Joe Brady has done and how this offense has changed over the last couple of years. And I would say it does, I always come down to options to win, right? We'll see where the Bills are at the end of the season if they stay healthy. But come playoff time, maybe they have a few more options now with their yak players, but also with superhuman Josh Allen to complement them. So I think it's a good balance in Buffalo right now. and that's why they've clinched the AFC East here in early November.
And they did it without Amari Cooper. So we were back to
Yes.
kind of the offense with no real perimeter threats. Everyone is like, look at the target leaders. It's Dalton Kincaid, it's Khalil Shakir, it's James Cook, it's all of the over the middle, horizontal yak people.
Horizontal yak people. Anything else on this game? Rest in peace to Tua's passing total.
Rest in peace to Tua's over, yeah. Chop Robinson, I showed up, I guess, for the first time. Like, he got a sack, but
It was a weird one when he like stumbled and I mean, was it?
no, that was a different one. That was a hit where, yeah, he fell out of his stance and still beat the left tackle around the
Left
corner.
tackle didn't move though.
I know.
On that.
He did get a sack on, I think, more of a cleanup play, but he showed something, I think, for the first time really this season, which is a positive development, I guess, for them.
The last thing to touch on was, we talked about it last night a little bit, Tua diving for a first down on 4th and 3, diving head first. I know I'm not trying to like personalize the game experience this whole time, but like it's a tough watch for a lot of people, hoping he doesn't get hit in the head again.
It's like the Alex Smith thing. When Alex Smith came back from his leg injury and Aaron Donald jumped on his back like for a sack, everybody in the world was like, oh God, no. You know, everyone immediately felt concerned for the safety of Alex Smith's leg that he almost lost off the back of that infection. I think it's the same with Tua. Like, when that guy launches himself head first anywhere at this point, you're like, dude, no. What are we doing here? Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
For more great content, click here to subscribe and here to watch another video. We'll see you again soon.